Hello and welcome. We're so glad you're here with us today, ready to learn some really useful English.
That's right. We know you want to talk about your life and your holidays with, more confidence. We've all been there.
Oh, definitely. You have a great story you want to share, maybe about a family dinner, but the right words just poof, they disappear.
Yeah, or you're trying to tell a joke in English and you kind of mess up the ending and everyone just stares.
It's the worst feeling.
Exactly. And that's the problem we're going to solve today. Our mission is to give you the most common, simple words you need to talk about a big holiday, specifically Christmas Day.
We looked at a bunch of stories about how different families celebrate, and we realized that the key is learning the language of the schedule.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to follow the entire day, step by step, just like a story, from the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep on the sofa.
It's a timeline you can use to talk about your own special holidays, too. So let's jump right in. Hmm. Okay. So let's start at the beginning, the morning. Christmas morning, it's not a normal morning. It has a special feeling, a special atmosphere.
It really does. And if you want to describe it, the first thing to focus on is that feeling. We like to call it an excited quiet.
An excited quiet. I like that. What do you mean by that?
Well, the house is still dark. Nobody's really moving around yet, but you can feel the energy,
Hmm?
you know? Everyone is awake, just waiting.
It's like the house is a blank canvas, waiting for the day to be painted on it. Everyone's ready to go, but you're just waiting for that first bit of light.
Exactly. And that feeling is often tied to smells. If you're telling a story, always mention the smells.
Right. So first thing is usually coffee or tea, right?
Yes, someone's always up early making hot drinks.
Yeah.
But the really special smells are the sweet smells. A lot of our sources mention cinnamon.
Oh, yeah. Like maybe someone is baking cinnamon buns, or there are candles that smell warm and spicy.
Mm-hmm. The air itself feels welcoming. You could say something like, the air was heavy with the smell of sugar and spice. That's a great way to describe it.
It gives you that warm, cozy feeling. And that brings us to the light.
Yes, the light. A lot of homes will have special electric lights or maybe a candle in the window that stays on all night.
For me, it's that soft glow. You wake up, and the room isn't totally dark, but it's not bright either. It's this gentle sort of amber color.
Right, and we can use great words here like soft, warm glow. This creates a really nice contrast that's easy to describe in English.
What do you mean, a contrast?
Well, you can say the air outside was freezing cold, but the soft light inside made the house feel incredibly warm.
Ah, I see. That cold outside, warm inside thing. That is the perfect cozy feeling, safe and happy.
And if we're talking about being cozy, we have to talk about clothes, special clothes.
Definitely not work clothes.
No, comfort is the only rule. So you can use simple adjectives like comfortable, large, soft. We're talking about big, fluffy socks, maybe with silly pictures on them.
Reindeer or something.
Yeah, or fuzzy slippers. The goal is total relaxation. And this leads us to a very specific piece of vocabulary, the ugly Christmas sweater.
This is a great one for learners. Why do people wear something they call ugly on purpose?
It's a perfect example of irony in language. The point isn't fashion at all. It's about being funny and, well, a little bit strange. It's about having fun.
So it's a joke you wear.
Pretty much. It might be way too bright or have little bells that jingle or maybe even flashing lights sewn into it. I saw one with a giant moose head sticking out of the front.
Moose head. That's amazing.
And it's ridiculous. That's the point. So when you describe it, you can say, my sweater was ridiculous, but it made everyone laugh. It's a really easy, fun cultural detail to add to your story.
Okay, so we're dressed in our cozy, ugly sweaters. We've had our coffee. Now for the main event of the morning, the gifts.
But not so fast. Before the fun begins, we have to talk about the rules.
The rules.
Yes.
In almost every family, there's a waiting game.
There is. You can't just tear into the presents. Everyone has to be awake. Everyone has to be ready. Sometimes you even have to eat a little something first.
It's so hard to wait, especially
Yeah.
for kids. It really builds the excitement.
It does. And families fill that waiting time. They drink their coffee very slowly. They tell stories. They put on some Christmas music. The key here is building anticipation.
It's a good time for some light conversation practice, too. Just asking simple things like, did you sleep well? Small talk.
Mm-hmm. A good warm-up. Now, once the waiting is over, there are usually two different ways families open gifts. Two main traditions.
Okay, what's the first one?
The first one is that the youngest person in the room gets to open the very first gift. It's kind of an honor. After that, sometimes it just becomes a free-for-all.
Meaning everyone just starts opening gifts at the same time.
Exactly. Paper flying everywhere, lots of noise, lots of excitement. It's joyful chaos.
Okay, that's one way. What's the second tradition?
The second way is much slower. It's called taking turns. This can take hours, but the focus is always on just one person at a time.
So how does that work? The cycle of taking turns.
So, person A gives a gift to person B. Everyone stops and watches person B open it. Then, after person B says thank you, they choose a gift they brought and give it to person C. And it just goes around the room like that.
I can see why that takes a long time. But what's the benefit of doing it that way?
The benefit is that you get to see everyone's reaction, the happy face, the surprise. When you tell your story later, describing that reaction is so important. Did they smile? Did they gasp? Did they give a big hug? It's great practice for emotional words.
That makes sense. Now let's talk about receiving a gift, because politeness is key, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's, well, a boring gift.
Especially if it's a boring gift, you always have to say thank you. But here is a super useful phrase for our learners for when you don't really love the gift.
Okay, what is it?
You say thank you for the thought.
Thank you for the thought. That's a great one. Let's break that down. What does that really mean?
It means, I see that you spent time thinking about me and choosing this for me. I'm thanking you for your effort and your kindness. It lets you be polite and grateful without lying and saying, I love it, if you don't.
That's very good social English. It's respectful. Now let's talk about some memorable gifts. Let's start with a really great childhood present.
For me, I think it was a chemistry set I got when I was about 9. It had all these little bottles and tubes. I remember spending the whole day mixing things and making colors change. It really, it sparked my interest in science.
Wow, that's a gift that actually changed something for you. That's fantastic. Mine was a skateboard, a bright blue skateboard. I remember just feeling this sense of speed and freedom. It was my ticket to, exploring the neighborhood with my friends.
See, those are great stories. But now, let's be honest about the funnier, boring gifts. This is where the real family stories are.
The repetitive gifts. I heard about someone whose aunt gave them a new coffee mug every single year, always with a different picture of a cat on it.
Cat mug, every
Yeah.
year.
Every year. They now have an entire cupboard just for the cat mugs. It's become a funny thing they actually look forward to.
I love that. Or what about the person who gets a new pen set from their grandpa every Christmas? Not just one pen, a whole box of them.
A pen set.
And they're not even a writer, but it's the consistency that makes it funny. You can tell that story and say, my grandpa has a tradition of giving me pens. I have a big collection now. It's not a complaint, it's a story.
That's a great way to put it. So whether the gift is amazing, like a chemistry set, or funny, like a cat mug, the key vocabulary is taking turns, exchanging gifts, and using that wonderful phrase, thank you for the thought. All right, moving on. The gifts are open, the wrapping paper is cleaned up, and now we move to the next huge part of the day, the food, the Christmas feast.
Right, and preparing that feast takes a whole team. This is where we get a lot of great action words because in most families, everyone helps in the kitchen.
Well, they try to help. I know I'm usually what you'd call a snack helper.
A snack helper. I love that phrase. What does that mean?
It means I'm mostly there to eat the ingredients. Stealing little pieces of cheese, tasting the sauce before it's ready. I'm helping, but I'm helping the food disappear.
You're doing quality control.
Exactly. But besides the snack helpers, there are real jobs. The first one is setting the table.
This is a key job. It means getting the table ready. You gather the plates, the forks, the knives, the special holiday napkins.
And it's a good way to describe the style of the day. Is it a fancy table with special glasses, or is it more relaxed and informal?
Exactly. Another big job is helping with the vegetables. And this is where we learn a really important verb, to peel.
To peel, like peeling potatoes.
Peeling potatoes, peeling carrots. It's simple, repetitive work. But this boring work is actually super important for conversation
How so?
because you're sitting next to someone for maybe an hour, just peeling. It's the perfect time for a long, relaxed chat. You can say, "We were peeling potatoes and we talked about everything."
So it's not really about the potatoes, it's about the connection.
It is. And to make the work more fun, there's always music.
Oh, always. Christmas songs or carols playing in the kitchen, people start singing.
Maybe not singing very well, but they're singing, and then there's usually some dancing.
The kitchen dance party. We heard a great story about this.
Yes. Someone's uncle was in charge of cooking, and he grabbed two big wooden spoons and started using them as drumsticks.
Drumsticks.
Yeah, he started drumming on all the pots and pans, making a huge noise, and singing a Christmas carol really loudly and completely off key.
That's such a great specific image. And it's so much better to say, my uncle was drumming on the pots with spoons than just, we listened to music.
Exactly. Those little details bring your story to life.
Now, all this cooking takes hours. So what do people do to pass the time while they wait for dinner?
To pass the time, that's a great phrase. It means making the wait feel shorter. A really popular activity is to go for a short walk outside.
But it's cold. Why go outside?
It's a change of scenery. The air is fresh and quiet. It's a little break from the chaos and the heat of the kitchen. It also helps you get hungry for the big meal.
A reset button. Okay, what if it's too cold for a walk?
Then you do something simple inside. You play a simple game with the kids, or you put on a favorite Christmas movie, one that everyone has seen a million times.
Like that movie about the kid who gets left by himself at home and has to fight off some burglars.
Exactly, Home Alone. You don't have to pay close attention. You can just relax and enjoy it until you hear that big shout from the kitchen.
And that's the moment. The house smells incredible. The waiting is finally over. Dinner is served. How do families announce that the feast is ready?
Well, there are two main ways. The informal way is just a loud shout, "Dinner's ready!" and then everyone rushes to help bring the food to the table.
High energy. And what's the more formal way?
The more formal way is usually a sound. Maybe ringing a small, beautiful bell that's been in the family for years. It's a signal to stop what you're doing and come to the table.
And once everyone is at the table, there's often a little tradition before anyone starts eating.
Yes, a lot of families will hold hands and someone will say a short "thank you," just a moment of gratitude for the food and for everyone being together. Then you hear the phrase, "enjoy your meal."
Okay, let's talk about the food itself. What are the traditional things on the table for this big feast?
Well, the star of the show is usually the turkey, but the side dishes are just as important.
Let's start with one that can be hard to explain. Stuffing.
Right. For our learners, stuffing is basically a mix of bread, herbs, onion, and spices. It's often cooked inside the turkey, so it soaks up all the delicious savory flavors. It's soft and really rich.
Good explanation. And of course you need potatoes.
You need potatoes. And the favorite is almost always crispy roasted potatoes. The key words here are crispy on the outside and soft on the inside.
That texture is everything. And then, to bring it all together, there's the gravy.
The magic sauce. Gravy is made from the juices that come from the turkey when it cooks. You pour it over everything, the turkey, the stuffing, the potatoes. It connects the whole meal.
It really does. What about special drinks?
Adults might have wine. For kids, a very popular choice is sparkling apple juice. It's fizzy, and they serve it in fancy glasses.
So it feels special.
It feels like a celebration. Another great one is warm fruit punch with spices like cinnamon and cloves.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
It's amazing. You can describe it as tasting like Christmas in a cup.
I love that. Now, with all this incredible food, it leads to a very funny and useful English phrase. Eyes bigger than stomach.
This is a fantastic one. It describes a problem everyone has. It means you put way too much food on your plate because everything looks so delicious.
You were too ambitious.
Way too ambitious. And then halfway through eating, you realize you can't finish it all. Your eyes wanted more than your stomach could handle. It's a funny way to say you're full.
And that happens every single year. But you always have to save room for dessert.
Dessert is mandatory. It could be Christmas pudding or maybe a pumpkin pie or a big chocolate log cake.
Which is a cake that looks like a log from a tree, right?
Exactly. And after all that, we get to the post-meal feeling, the feeling of being very, very full.
You can say you feel stuffed,
Mm.
or I can't move.
Hmm. Everyone slowly moves from the dining room to the living room. And this leads to what might be the most peaceful moment of the whole day.
Just sitting on the sofa, all the main lights are off, and it's just the glow from the Christmas tree lights.
It's quiet. Everyone is content and warm and resting.
And inevitably, after a meal that big, someone falls asleep.
Usually a dad or a grandpa. You just hear this quiet,
The snoring starts.
the snoring starts. It's a tiny, funny tradition that marks the end of the feast.
Okay, we have survived the feast.
Hmm.
Everyone's woken up from their nap. What happens next? The evening activities.
Yes, once the energy comes back a little bit, it's usually time for games. Board games, card games like Uno, or maybe a trivia game.
Games are great, but sometimes a family game can get a little too competitive.
That's a great phrase. It means people start to care a little too much about winning. The fun stops, and the arguments about the rules start.
You hear things like, you're cheating.
Or, that's not fair. Let me see the rules. It's usually friendly, but the energy definitely goes up.
So if the games get too intense, what's a calmer activity?
The jigsaw puzzle. It's the total opposite. It's slow, it's quiet, and you work together. A family might start a big puzzle on Christmas and then work on it for the next few days.
It's a very low-pressure way to hang out. Now, another huge part of the modern Christmas is connecting with family who aren't there. The video calls.
Yes. And this is a great chance to use your English to describe different places. For example, imagine you call your uncle in Australia.
Right, get summer there.
Exactly. You're wearing a warm sweater inside, and he's outside wearing shorts because it's hot and sunny. That contrast makes for a great story.
I called my uncle and he was at the beach.
Mm-hmm. And then maybe you call your cousin in Scotland, and it's even colder and snowier there than where you are. You can compare the weather. It's all about connecting over that distance.
That's really nice. Now let's talk about traditions that go beyond just the family. What about giving to the community?
This is really important. Before Christmas, people often give small gifts to friends or to people like the postmen or their local shopkeepers.
Why do they do that?
It's just a small way to say thank you for their work all year, a little act of appreciation.
And what about charity?
Charity is a huge part of the holiday spirit, the idea of giving, not just receiving. So many families will donate food or money or warm clothes to help others.
That's a lovely tradition. Some families also have religious traditions, like going to church.
That's right. There are two main services. One is the midnight service on Christmas Eve, which is very late and quiet and often lit by candles.
And the other is on Christmas morning.
Yes, and that one usually has a lot of singing Christmas carols, which are the special songs for the holiday, like Silent Night.
Okay, let's quickly touch on decorations. The tree is the big one. What are the things on the tree called?
They're called ornaments, the shiny balls, the little figures, and often a tree has a mix of very old ornaments and new ones, so it's like a collection of memories.
And we have to define tinsel.
Tinsel. Tinsel is that shiny, stringy stuff. It's usually silver or gold, and you hang it on the branches to catch the light and make the whole tree sparkle.
The shiny, stringy stuff, I like that definition. And outside the house.
People put up lights and often a wreath on the front door. A wreath is that circle made of green leaves and maybe pine cones. It's a way of saying welcome to everyone who visits.
Perfect. And just really quickly, what about activities that happen in the days after Christmas?
Well, there's a big one in the UK and some other countries, the King's Speech. The monarch gives a speech on TV at 3 p.m. For older generations especially, that's a very important moment.
And the day after Christmas is a holiday, too.
Right. It is. It's called Boxing Day. And it's a day for pure relaxation. Eating leftovers, especially turkey sandwiches, they're the best part watching movies, and maybe going for a long walk.
Okay, that was a fantastic tour of the entire holiday.
No.
Now, as we promised, let's zoom in on some of the most essential vocabulary we've used.
Yes. We've picked out 10 words and phrases that are really going to help your conversations. We'll keep the definitions simple and give you some examples.
Let's start with number 1, celebrate.
To celebrate just means to do something special for a happy reason. It means having fun, eating good food, and being with people you love. For example, we celebrate the new year with fireworks.
Good. Number 2, preparations.
Preparations are all the things you do before the event to get ready. The shopping, the cleaning, the cooking, that's all part of the preparations. You could say the preparations for the wedding took weeks.
Got it. Number 3, stocking.
A stocking is that big special sock you hang up for Santa Claus to fill with small gifts, and we call those small gifts stocking stuffers.
Next up, number 4, feast.
A feast is a very large, very special meal for a lot of people. It's a much better word than just big meal, for example. The family prepared a huge feast for the holidays.
Okay, number 5 is our big one for today. This is a really important phrase with tricky grammar. Look forward to.
This is so important. To look forward to something means you feel happy and excited about something that is going to happen in the future.
So what's the tricky part?
The tricky part is what comes after. After look forward to, you must use a noun or a verb that ends in ing.
So I can't say, I look forward to see my friends.
That's the common mistake. No, you have to say, I look forward to seeing my friends. The ing is so important. Or you could use a noun. I look forward to the party.
Okay, let's practice. If I'm excited about the holiday vacation, what do I say?
You'd say, I look forward to having a break. Or, I look forward to my vacation.
I look forward to having a break. Okay, I think I've got it.
It's a great phrase to show positive feeling, so practice it.
All right. Number 6, exchange.
To exchange means you give something and you get something back. It's a two-way street. We exchange gifts at Christmas.
Number 7, gather.
Gather is a lovely word. It just means to come together in one place. It feels very warm and communal. My family gathers at my parents' house for the holidays.
Nice. Number 8, ornaments.
Ornaments are all the pretty decorative things you hang on the Christmas tree, the shiny balls, the little stars, all of that.
Number 9, tradition.
A tradition is a special activity that a family or a culture does every single year. It's a special, repeated habit. Our family tradition is to watch the same movie every year.
Now remember, your family tradition can be anything. If you always eat pizza, that is your tradition.
Absolutely. And our last word, number 10, carols.
Right. Carols are just the special Christmas songs that people sing.
Exactly. So that's our list. Now, for everyone listening, try to make a sentence right now in your head using look forward to. Remember that ing verb.
The faster you use it, the better you remember it.
Well, we have covered so much ground today. From the excited quiet in the morning to the feast and the evening games.
Our goal was to give you the words you need to tell your own stories. We talked about taking turns with gifts and how to politely say thank you for the thought.
We talked about having eyes bigger than your stomach and, of course, how to correctly use that super important phrase, a look forward to.
So now if someone asks you, how was your holiday? Ooh, you have so many words and ideas.
You can give a detailed answer like, it was wonderful, my family gathered and we had a huge feast. I really look forward to doing it again next year.
Or you can keep it simple. It was quiet and nice. We exchanged gifts after all the preparations. Both are perfect answers.
The most important thing is not to worry about mistakes. Just try to communicate your meaning. People will understand and appreciate your effort.
Be proud of what you're learning. And now it is your turn to practice with us. We have a mandatory question for you.
We want to know, what is the one holiday tradition that you love? It can be for any holiday, any celebration that's special to you.
Tell us about a tradition you look forward to every year. Try to use some of your new words. Maybe you can write, my favorite tradition is baking cookies with my family.
Or, I look forward to eating my grandmother's special soup. Please, write your answer in the comments below. We love reading them and seeing you use the language.
And while you're there, please subscribe to our channel, Mastering English Podcast. We're always adding new lessons to help you with real, everyday conversations. Our next one is all about talking about your hobbies.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Keep practicing. You're doing a great job.
You see you next time. Bye for now.